Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be reviewing the Suck It Up DLC level which was released for Astro on the 10th of July of this year. Now this level is the second DLC level that you can play if you want to in the Vicious Void DLC in terms of the second batch of DLC levels. And this level makes use of the elephant power up. So this it's the one that can make you either have bouncing platforms or ice platforms. And this level, I would say, when compared to the previous level that you can play, that being the Twin Frog Trouble level, I would say the Suck It Up DLC level is a lot more fast paced because you've got a variety of moving platforms as well as breakable platforms that you'll have to try and either avoid or land on so you can move to the next one, and then using the power up to your advantage to either bounce to another platform or create one to get to the next platform. And I'll say this is a lot more harder to do when compared to the previous one, because as before you've got the moving platforms, but also you've got enemies coming your way. So, for example, in the first part of the level, you've got all these different rocket launcher things, and they will release a bunch of those flying enemies with the sharp beaks, and they will just hurl a lot of or an unlimited amount towards your way until you land on the platform itself. And then around halfway through the level, you'll see some breakable or ice platforms which will lead to spikes, and then which will lead to rails and moving spiked platforms, that sort of thing. And I would say this level is quite a challenge. I would say because there isn't that much time to take a breather and stop for a second, I would say for this level, try and see ahead in the sense that always look like a platform or so ahead so you can pre-plan your next move. So for example, if you have the with the power up with the 11 power up, if you have the jumping part or the ability to make jumping platforms, try and look ahead and try and okay, I've got this amount of stuff left to use. I'll need to use this, land on the platform, create another bouncing platform, then land on the next one. And it's basically stuff like that you will need to think about because of how fast paced this level is, and you will need to try and maneuver your way through the different areas, like the spiked platforms, the spikes or the moving spiked things as well, and even the breakable platforms as well. You need to really think about those kinds of things. So yeah, and now it's time for some gameplay. So for Suck It Up, I would say it's a bit harder than the Twin Frog Trouble level, because this level I would say requires a bit more platforming skills, I would say. And yeah, and this level lets you use the elephant power up, which is the one that can use either the jelly or the ice mixtures, I would say. And it's all about a little bit more platforming, I would say, when compared to Twin Frog Trouble. And yeah, what I like about this is that you have to really think about, similar to Twin Frog Trouble, you have to really think on your feet and try to think of when to go. And yeah, I would say it's a bit more challenging, but I think once you've gotten the hang of it, it can be a bit more easy to do than the other one. And yeah, and there are some tactics that I remember seeing on YouTube
like after I beat this level, but how it's done. As you saw by the rails. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of much it, or kind of it. So yeah, it's kind of like it's easier. It's kind of challenging, but also kind of easier depending on how good you get at the level. So yeah, it's a fun level overall. I think it's a whole lot of fun, and yeah, so that's been it for the gameplay.
So overall, I would say that the Suck It Up DLC level is, I would say, a lot better than the Twin Frog Trouble DLC, but I think it's a lot. I think with this level, as well as all the other levels you can play in the second batch of DLC for Futures Void, it's really enjoyable, and I think it's one of those levels that's, as I said before, it's you're really on your feet, and you really have to like think ahead of what to do within the level, and it's just a really enjoyable thing, just like to do in terms of like of trying to predict when and where you will land on platforms, what side a particular platform might be, whether this be on spikes or a vent that you can use to either create bouncing platforms or ice platforms and stuff like that. So yeah, so overall, it's a really enjoyable level, and it's really does make you have to stop and think a bit in terms of what your next moves are going to be. So yeah, so that's been my review for the Suck It Up DLC level. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.